Folks, this is a series that I hope you enjoy as much as I do. This is where we get somebody, Millennial Mike, that goes through the comments, pulls out the spicy, pulls out the good that need a deeper analysis, and quite frankly, ones that he just wants to see me react to. I cannot believe we have such a nice person that does this every week for us here. So we all owe him a debt of gratitude and a thanks. I know I do. Mike, what do you got this week?
Oh, yeah, we got some great topics this week. We got more follow-up questions on seller financing. We did a few videos on that. Of course, people are always asking about the crash. You did some videos with Jason Hartman. That was super cool. Big shout out. If you haven't watched those, watch him. He's a real estate superstar. Jobs reports, revisions, all these different topics out there. So we're going to start with you and Jason Hartman. We're discussing the real estate crash. And at Picture Works Denver says there's plenty of people who bought in 2007 at the top of the last cycle and found themselves deeply underwater in their homes. I know people who had to bring cash to the table when they sold their houses, so it can go both ways. 40% to 50% price appreciation in a couple years isn't normal. So it's understandable that people are wary of jumping in and they're looking for a reversion to the mean in home prices. In my area, prices have doubled. Inventory is now almost non-existent, but sales have ground to a halt. The market is frozen. Eventually, the 30% contraction in real estate will have a profound knock-on effects in the broader economy. So he's calling for a 30% crash, and he wants to know what type of effect the real estate market's having on the broader economy. So, Mike, what do you think?
So, I guess I haven't seen this question yet, so that's pretty cool. So there's a couple of things that I would react to that. First, I believe it should be obvious now a 30% crash in real estate in the next couple of years is highly unlikely. I think this individual, like a lot of the crash bros, are like, hey, it happened before, it can happen again. Okay. But let's talk about why it happened. And again, we had 50% of loans for 2005 and 6 that are adjustable rate mortgage. A large proportion of those, let me just say this, a large proportion of those loans that were written then are illegal now. Illegal. They were so bad, right? Neg-am loans and things of that, teaser loans. So what happened in the crash last time, folks, is homeowners could afford the payment at the teaser rate, and then at some event, it skyrocketed, and then homes were unaffordable. When things are unaffordable, you sell. And they sold in mass, and supply greatly exceeded demand. Because not only did supply exceed demand, but what also happened is banks pulled back. Banks said investors were the problem, and you could only get 4 home loans. So not only did we have the supply problem, but we also had demand greatly restricted. So now let's go to later comment. He says we have to have a housing crash because there's no inventory and there's no transactions. Well, I'm not sure how that happens, but okay. But let's talk about what today is not like before. The effective interest rate. An effective interest rate means put all the mortgages together, get an average, is 3.6%. This is affordable. Jason Hartman, in the video this gentleman references, talks about people affording their payments on unemployment. So we're not going to get the wave of supply. I mean, I don't know what you guys need to understand. Now, is it fair? I don't give a rat's ass. This ain't about being fair. And reversion to the mean, well, that's possible, I guess. But the other thing that's really possible is we grind sideways for a decade, like I am calling for. And, oh, by the way, Bruce Norris, who has a track record of California crash, California comeback, and some great housing calls, also now, I understand, is calling for a sideways market of 5 to 8 years. So everybody wants to crash because it happened last time. You want to sit on the sidelines and whine and bitch. I don't care. I think it is far more likely that we go sideways because there is no you don't have to sell a home when you have a 2.8% mortgage. The payment is that affordable. You can have a housing crash transaction, and the transaction crash can get worse, which I am calling for. A 30% crash in prices because it's not fair. Keep dreaming. And I guess I'll close with this. I would like nothing more than a 30% housing crash in prices. I would love it. It's just not coming, guys. I don't know what you're smoking, but life's not fair. I'm sorry.
And they are smoking a drug called hopium, and it's
Oh,
very
hopium,
addictive.
yes.
It's killing. It's a lot of wannabe investors or home buyers are overdosing left and right. So
there you go.